please do how Exarm was made. Good Start Gaming, is that a threat? I was originally going to make a video on Wonder Egg Priority, but it's just too good to shit on. Exarm, however, is 3D. No, it's fine. 3D can be used successfully, as seen in Beastars, but when I searched up Exarm, you can guess my disappointment ended with deleting my search history. As a new student in 3D animation, I would say I am qualified to analyze and review this abstract art. But I want to know how this was made. Let's start off with the basics of mimicking 2D anime in a 3D environment. When making a 3D anime, it makes sense to make it look 2D because, well, anime often looks 2D. Manga itself is 2D. Studio Orange, the animation studio that created Beastars, achieved the 2D look with careful compositing, stylistic keyframing, and much more that mimics the movement and environment in 2D anime that I talked about in my How Beastars Was Made video. Exarm, however, paid stunt actors that don't know much about motion in anime. Not only that, but they mostly just transferred their professional stunt motion capture data over to the models. That's just going to look like VR chat on crack. If they want it to look realistic, well, congratulations, it's a little too realistic. Because the reality is, there is just a person punching and kicking around, wearing a motion capture suit, so of course it will look like that. If I recreate these 2D movements in VR chat, you can clearly see it's impossible. Not only is the movement too fast, but there are smear frames. Look! 3 hands on 1 arm! These are useful for smooth motion and can exaggerate actions. Now obviously it doesn't look like VR chat, but I'm talking about the motion. Here's an example. If you see someone with full body tracking in VR chat, well sadly I couldn't actually find one, you don't go, my waifu's so real! It's like I'm watching a realistic anime! I want to smash! No. You think of the person at home wearing a headset, probably embarrassing themselves if someone walks in their room. Oh, but the waifu part is true. Sorry, where is my respect for this anime? They didn't even hire an animation studio to make this. My inner suffering is what fuels me to make this video. I wanted to make a nice video of Egg, but now this comment is ruining my life because the studio had an ego with their overambitious abilities and creative thinking. They went out of the box. Don't go out of the box. If you couldn't guess, I'm acting a little here. My waifu is real. There are a few areas of production I would like to discuss to better understand the cause of my anxiety while watching this. The director. Yoshikatsu Kimura always worked in live action scenes, not animation, so that was the overly ambitious part I was talking about earlier. He mostly worked on the camera angles and the fights without having any knowledge in anime. His belief was that it needed to look realistic, and he is very skilled, which made people say if he just watched anime, he would know it's supposed to be unrealistic, and that is what makes it interesting. So he didn't really notice much wrong with the animation itself. And that brings me to the animators. I feel sorry for the animators. Oh, that's right, they don't exist. They are mostly environment designers and 3D modelers, highly skilled people, but very misused. Now I feel even more sorry for the animators. I doubt they want this in their portfolio. They should be producing something else. Most action scenes were done with skilled fighters that wore motion capture suits, and the data is sent off to the animators which have no clue what they are doing. Not only do they have limited experience with anime and keyframe adjusting, but the data they were sent also likely was not even usable for anime. If the motion capture data was sent to Studio Orange, they would probably scrap it and get their animators to do it, or at least change the keyframes till it matches an anime style. So it's impressive that they somehow kept producing this anime, though I kinda wish they didn't. It's well known that animation is done by animators. Yeah, just let that sink in. Even game developers usually use the animators to do the motion capture, unless it's too sophisticated or difficult, which Exarm is. Even though this would require skilled fighters, an anime director would be able to direct the fighters to move in a more anime style. Have you seen the faces on the models? I'll show you an in-depth visualization of how they rigged them. So I'm gonna show you this complex system of how their mouths move. First, we got some tape. Next, you chuck it on your chin. This complex system requires a bone that moves up and down. I'm being highly satirical and dramatic in this video, but this is also very true. Even my waifu agrees. Those eyes are just too haunting. At least put some emotion. Usually you spend weeks or months rigging characters for the models, and you can save time by applying your complex rig to other characters with similar shapes, like what they did in Beastars. However, it seems they didn't want to just save time, they wanted to save money. And we all know cheap items often look cheap too. But actually, no, Exarm is not cheap. It's just really cheap in some areas. It's actually very expensive. With so much motion capture and paying professional fighters, it would cost a lot. Here's a very sad but true comment I found. This is why money isn't everything. You need skill to do animation. You can't just go around hiring people that doesn't know what they're doing. and I agree. But I'm not sure what happened with the 3D models. The money definitely didn't go there. Okay, he definitely has intentions and I don't want to find out. Actually, the whole production value is very inconsistent. Some scenes are done well, or at least have good aspects, like moving hair or fantastic fighting. But then you have shots without hair moving and shots like this. I mean, seriously, the orange drink company Orangina can do an animated advertisement with half-naked furries aired on French television over 10 years ago in 2008 and look 10 times better. That's really embarrassing. Yeah, an orange drink company. You'd think I'd compare this to Final Fantasy X from 2001, which looks way better. Or an anime like Beastars? Well, no, I just compared it to half-naked furries animated from an orange drink company, so ha. You see, the difference is, they hired actual animators. Oh, and had mad bank for a spoof ad. I mean, look, I found a full list of everyone that worked on the Naked Furry advertisements, and here are the animators. You have Janak Thacker, who worked on the animation and rigging of this entire Battlefield 3 scene, and then went to the, and then you have Jesus! Oh my gosh, guys, I found Jesus! He animated Naked Furry? That had to be the most painful tangent ever. How about we forget the 3D animation in X-Arm? What is done well? How about the VFX? This is sad. I can't ignore the 3D animation when the VFX is obviously used to cover up their 3D mistakes. The models are clipping from poor character rigging, and so they just turned them into the sun. The fire and explosions appear to be real fire. And the smoke is just pasted on the screen. Are you okay? I just started my VFX course a few weeks ago, and I know that's a bad idea. I'm also starting to think maybe there was also poor communication between areas of production. It's like the VFX people were just given all the 3D renderings already done and told to make it all look cool with smoke and fire or something. If they did those effects in the 3D scene itself, it would look much better. By this point in writing the scripts, I actually haven't watched a single episode yet, so let's go watch this anime called X-Arm. So I've come to this spider-infested tunnel so that no one can catch me watching this anime. I just counted 30 spiders. That guy's Gerald, Simon, Melanie, Frederick, Bob. Whoa, the VFX is already covering the entire shot to hide up the transition. Mosquito! Oh my god! There's like blood on me. There's no particular color palette that I can see so far. This guy, this dude, he looks like he's gonna murder me. It's like a PowerPoint presentation. Is this supposed to be the action shot? I don't know what she's saying, but it's not nice. That mouth shouldn't move in those ways. There's no way that's motion capture. That is disgusting. That was it? To be continued? It wasn't a good anime. I don't know why. It physically hurt me as well. It turns out, watching myself watching it later is more entertaining than the anime itself. I just got to say, while this anime is a terrible anime, I actually somewhat agree with the production team on this one. It would be highly challenging to make this in 2D, so on paper it sounds good, but the execution was terrible. There are studios out there that have proven themselves to be able to make amazing 3D action scenes, and would succeed with this anime very well, so there isn't really an excuse here, just low IQ. They would make for a terrible imposter. Usually when you make a 3D anime, the goal is to use toon shaders and good compositing to make it look somewhat 2D, with the added bonus of being able to control 3D characters for production. What would be good would be giving the characters emotion, and stylizing it makes it even more believable as an anime. Look, I'm not even sure if they were even trying to make this look 2D, but I mean they are using a toon shader, so maybe they tried? But anyway, if you want it to look 2D, moving the camera in simple movements like panning shots, or moving one direction is usually effective. This way, it doesn't break into the third dimension so much. X-Arm, however, has everything contradicting each other. It's like, so we wanted it to look 2D, so we gave it 3D camera movements. In their defense though, they kind of had to. Action shots are way cooler in 3D. Take The Matrix for example. Those camera movements are so sick. If The Matrix had an anime and had these character models, it would look pretty stupid, right? You get what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I think the action shots are very high quality camera work. Oh, wait a second. Brown Table reviewed this already?
They did like an artificial zoom in. Like, you know, you can just make another camera, right? Made it like that. Like it's a YouTube video. Like they just edited, like, you see I just zoomed in? I can zoom in again. You're in a 3D environment, dude. You can place the camera wherever you want.
At least the fact the action scenes are real people acting is impressive. It just shouldn't be an anime. Or at least, an anime made by these people. Now, I know everyone loves comparisons, so I want to quickly give a shout out to Brown Table, who actually recreated one of the scenes in 2D and made it look so much better.
Ran through here. Search everywhere.
Is this thing really that amazing? The ship set sail!
That appears to be the case.
So, I know I don't normally make anime videos, usually jokes about furries to be honest, but this anime was so painful that it motivated me to make this harsh video explaining my pain. I hope others can relate to my suffering. See you in my next video, smiley face. I actually recently bought something that I might make into a series. Can you guess what this is?